Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we have a 2018. It's a Toyota, the CHR. As you know, it's like the crossover type vehicle. So we are going to be doing just some basic maintenance. We're going to be doing the oil and filter, and we're going to be resetting the maintenance reminder light on the vehicle. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring you up front. I'm going to show you where the oil drain plug is, where the oil filter is located, and then we're going to go about getting this job done. Now, obviously, I have my new filter right here, so we're going to take care of that. But when you look this up on the computer or in your owner's manual, you'll notice that it calls for a full synthetic motor oil. Not that I'm pushing one oil over another. This one, it just happens to be Napa. It has to be 020. If you read the manual, it tells you that you can use 520 if you can't get 020. Me, I always use whatever it calls for. Always make sure you use the 020. If you get a 520, it's not a full synthetic, it's only a partial synthetic blend. So make sure you get the correct one. You look in the owner's manual, it tells you it has to be GF5 or equivalent. And if you look on the back of the container here, I know you can't see it. Actually, neither can I without these. But it has to say on the back of it, the GF5, which it does. All right, so let's get up there. I'm going to show you where the filter is located, and we're going to get this job done. Now, it's for almost, I think it's 4.4 or 4.5 quarts of oil, which is what we're going to put back into the vehicle itself. So enough BS, let's get up there and let's get started. Okay, now looking underneath the vehicle, this is where your oil filter and drain plug are located. As you can see, there's a couple of 10mm bolts in here. We're going to take out these 10mm bolts, and we're going to take this cover down. We should have the filter and the drain plug underneath there, but we'll see how it goes. All right, make sure you have a suitable bucket to drain your oil into. And this is an example of what kind of tools you're going to need to get this job done. You're going to need a set of metric sockets to remove the drain plug. You're going to need a fairly long extension on your ratchet here so that you can break the nut loose and take the nut out and let it drain. We may need something like that, an extension, so we can get onto the filter and take it off. Now, there's different kinds of caps that you can use to take this off. You can put a cap on it like this, and you can remove the filter from the car like that. Or the one I personally like is this. It goes over the top of the filter like that, and when you try to turn it, it actually digs into the filter and it takes it right off. So, all right, so that's the tools you're going to need to get the job done. And all right, let's get started. Like I said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the cover underneath the bottom, right there. Okay. And we're just going to take that cover off right there. Let's see if we can get a light in here better. Now, obviously, you don't want to lose them because you're going to need to put them back in. Okay, I can already tell you that the filter that they call for, this filter, by application, it's the wrong one. This is a canister filter. I'll bring you in there. I'll show you what I mean about a canister filter. This is the canister filter that's actually inside here. This piece here is what holds the filter in. So we're going to need a different tool to go on this to actually take this off. And that is our drain plug right there. It's a 14mm plug. So let's pull this out and we'll let it drain, and then we're going to find out what's going on with that filter. Okay, so now we're just going to remove that drain plug right there. We're going to take that out. You want to try to be careful because you're going to make a mess of your hands if you get that oil on there. So we're going to be really kind of careful. Watch you don't drop your drain plug or your gasket. All right, so now we're just going to let that drain out a little bit, and while it's draining, we're going to call up the parts store and find out what's up with that oil filter. All right, and once it finishes draining out, we're just going to put our drain plug back in there and tighten it up, just like this. And then we're going to snug the drain plug back in. And you don't want to over tighten it and strip that plug out, so you want to be real careful. All right, we'll wipe off any residual oil that's on here. And the next thing we're going to do, this is the tool that's actually needed to take that plastic cap off. So we're just going to put this up on here. I'll bring you in so you can see. See how it goes on there? Just like that. It goes on like this. And now we're going to take the socket, we're going to put it on here, and we're going to remove that. Now it's a little bit messy, so I'm going to try to be careful with it. Okay. All right, so we're just going to break it loose for now. Okay. Now we're going to put our bucket underneath, and we'll let it drain out a little bit. All right, so we have our bucket down below, and now we'll just take that off. We're just letting it drain out a little bit now so that we don't have too much of a mess where we actually pull the whole thing out. And then this is the filter itself, and it's a canister filter. This just pulls right out just like this. And then we're going to change that O-ring right there. But let's get the new filter, and we'll continue. We're going to take this O-ring off right here. The way you take that O-ring off is you just get in here with your fingers or a scribe or whatever, and you just pull the O-ring off just like this, and you throw this away. All right, so let's grab the new one, and we'll put this job back together. Okay, now that we got the correct filter for it, you want to match the filter up against the old filter that came out, just to make sure that is the correct filter, which you can see it is. So we're going to trash that. All right, the new filter, you just put it back inside the cap just like this, push it down, and then we're going to take our new O-ring, and you're going to put your new O-ring back on where you previously took it off from. Now you can use a screwdriver, you can use whatever you have to put that filter O-ring back on, but it just goes on just like that, in that groove. Make sure it's pushed down all the way, just like that. And then we're going to take some clean motor oil, and we're going to put a small bead of clean motor oil on this right here. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Take our filter, and you're going to screw it in by hand as far as you can. Now remember, it doesn't have to be tight. You're just screwing it in, and the O-ring is what's going to keep it from leaking fluid out. So we're just going to catch it and screw it down. And then we're going to tighten it in. All right, just till it touches, and then you just go just a little bit more, and that's it. And then we'll take our cap back off. We're just going to wipe off any kind of motor oil that's up in here, like that. And we're going to reattach our cover. All right, let's lower the car down and we'll put the motor oil back in it. Okay, this is where our motor oil goes, right in here. And if you're not sure what kind of oil it takes, it always tells you on the cap what it calls for, and this is 0W20. Alright, as tempted as you are to just pour it in there, you want to be careful because you're going to wind up spilling it all over the place. So always use yourself a funnel, that way you don't have a mess. Now we know it calls for 4.5 quarts, so we're going to put 4.5 in, and then once we have the 4.5 in, we're going to put the cap on and we'll start it up. Okay, that's our half. Alright, then we'll take our funnel back out. Make sure you put your cap back on. Start it up and let it run for just a minute. And now once you have the car running, we're going to take the dipstick out, and you want to wipe the stick down to make sure it's clean. And then a normal range for your motor oil is between those two little dots right there and right there. So we want it closer to the upper dot. And as you can see, we're down just a little bit, so we are going to put a little bit more in there. Our stick off again, and then we're going to check it one more time. Make sure your stick is all the way down as far as it can go, and we'll pull it out. We'll take a look at it and see, and there you go. It's right to the upper mark right now. Alright, so that is in all the way. Let's take this funnel out. Make sure your cap screws on all the way down until it's tight. Wipe off any kind of oil that's in there. So that's pretty much it. The oil change is now done. We're going to go inside the vehicle and we're going to reset the maintenance reminder light right now. Okay, now we're going to reset the maintenance reminder light. Let me just show you what it's doing so you know. Maintenance required soon. Alright, so the way we do this now is we come inside the vehicle, and you see down over in here, this is on the odometer right now, we're going to go to trip A. And the way you go to trip A, let's get the glasses on so we can see. Okay, we're going to press this button right here for trip A. And you can see it's on trip A right now. Now, we'll shut the key off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the key on, and we're going to hold this button here at the same time and turn the key back on. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see if I can do this. Resetting. I'm still holding the button down. You see it clicking down. And then we can let go of that button. And then we'll turn it on again. And that's it. We're reset. Alright, the main thing is that you have to shut it off with this button right here. You have to make sure that it's on trip A. If you're on trip B or you're on the regular odometer, it's not going to reset. So you want to turn it to trip A, and then you come back in and you shut your key off. Right? Shut your key off. Then you hold this button down right here. And while you're holding that button down, turn the key back on. And it says resetting maintenance data, and you can see the lines on the bottom counting down. And that's it. It resets to 100%. Okay, so you can see now that resetting that maintenance reminder is fairly simple. Just make sure you have it on trip A so you don't have a problem. All right, that's it. So you're all set. Main thing is now is you want to make sure you look underneath the vehicle, make sure you have no leaks whatsoever, and make sure you're up to that full mark. And that's it. You're good to go. All right, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.